Hello everybody. Today I want to show you a product that I've developed, which is something that allows the remote control of the Sun2000 Generation 2, and also works with 1000 as well, grid-tied inverter with limiter. Okay, basically all you need to do is install something inside the unit. This is the hardware piece. It's a small little PCB with a wireless feature that has an antenna. This is the strip antenna, and then has a cable that you plug into the control board of your unit. And then you take the cable that plugs into the display, you put it into this port here. And that's it. After that, once it powers up, it will start sending data or collecting data from the unit, and then it will send that data through two methods. One is either through a web page or through something called MQTT. It's a common protocol that's for wireless communication for things relating to mainly home automation. You can access it through any web browser. So with my iPad mini, I pulled up the web page, and you'll notice currently it's refreshing every 5 seconds, so it will change state automatically. The refresh rate of the unit is one per second, and the data is also one per second. This data going to here is also one times per second as well. So if you look in this section here, this is the status section, which is mimicking what's on the display. So it's 14.39 currently, and this 14.38. It just changed, so you can just watch this plus the other parameters like the load, the temperature, all the ones that's on here is on here. So I'll give you a few seconds to look at it if you can see it. Might not be able to see it because the video's probably. Oops. Oh, and also the title of it is it's getting that data from the configuration file. So if you had the configuration file changed to 1000 or a different voltage range, then that will show up as well. Okay. All right. So the next section is the current settings that the display has. It's currently limiting to power limited for 1400 watts. That's why you see this generation isn't going too much above 1400. I have an internal limiter as well. The backlight is always on, and so forth. That's standard stuff that you guys are used to seeing when you set up this thing up and using the display. The next section shows you the remote control feature. So right now, like I said, this is set to the built-in display control. So everything that I change here is reflected in the unit. If you notice, nothing I can change here on this screen, it's not text boxes or input boxes. And the reason why is because we're in the built display mode. If I switch to remote control mode, you'll see this thing changed to allow you to make those changes. The display still is active, and this still reflects what's on the display. The only thing that's not active is the settings that you set in the display will not be used for the unit. Instead, it will be used what's in the web page. So let me just go ahead and do that. And if you notice right off, it turned off. And this is the default mode. Whenever you switch modes, it always turns the unit off just for safety reasons. So currently it's off. The status says it's off as well, 0, and then this is still being updated. Okay. If you look at my settings here, it's a little different than what I set on the display, and one of the differences, I'm limiting the power to 1000 watts instead of 1400. I've also changed some other stuff like the battery voltage and things like that, but we won't show that in this demo. Currently it is off. It says it's off, and then once you make the change, you hit save change. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and you can see the response time once I turn it on. So it's turning on now. I can hear the little buzz, and if I refresh the screen, it's at 143 already. And so now it's, the next refresh should show at 1,000 watts. So it's not going to go any higher than 1,000 watts because of this limit that I set in this web page. I can change it live or real time. Okay. So now you'll notice it's at 100 and 100. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the MQTT broker. So what this does is it sends data through the Wi-Fi to anybody who's listening to the broker. So my home automation is set up so that I can retrieve this data. So let me just show you where that is. So if I go to my home automation software, which is called Indigo, these are the devices that I set up. And right now the Sun2000 is this device here, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, I can't zoom in on it, but this is changing based off of what the updates are. So if you look at the output, it's down here. It says out. It says 103, it's 103, so it matches. So you can see the data being changed automatically because it's receiving data, not via the web page, but through data path through MQTT. And so what that allows you to do is you can coordinate with other devices as well, and you can do all sorts of neat little things. Okay? Let me go back to the web browser and then show the mode of, we go back to the built-in control. Oops. Submit. So it turns off, 0, and then in about a minute, I think no more than a minute, this is the default for the unit, any changes on the settings will be a minute because of the display limitation, not because of this. Because right now it's being fully controlled by the display again, and no longer the web page. And see, it's back to 1400 instead of the 100 that was set. And that's it. Thank you.